Hey yo friends, Coderin here, and we are back with a tier list. Okay, so I know it has been some time, but we are back and we are going to be doing predictions for Danganronpa 2x2. Now, if you watched me, you might be wondering, Coderin, I didn't know that you were a Danganronpa fan. Well, I was. And I guess I still am. I guess I still have that Danganronpa fan in me, even after all this time. Because if you are a Danganronpa fan, you might know if any of you are Danganronpa fans, you probably got into the fandom at some point in maybe like 2020. Apparently that was basically like a sort of like a boom period for the Danganronpa fandom. Apparently during the pandemic, like so many new people got into Danganronpa. I guess I wonder if someone did a Let's Play or something that got very popular. I don't know. I wasn't there. And you might be like, oh, what do you mean apparently? Because I was into Danganronpa before 2020, okay? So you might notice in my title I say LAPSED Danganronpa fan. Yeah, so I like lost I lost interest in Danganronpa like a little bit before 2020, like not that long before. So like I basically just missed out on the fandom that apparently sprung up during the pandemic, okay? So let me get some water. Ooh, it has been hot lately, let me tell you. Anyways, so I like basically just missed out on that because I was a Danganronpa fan before then, and I kind of moved on to different things. But lately, I have been regaining my interest in Danganronpa just in time for Danganronpa 2x2, which will be coming out next year, I think. I believe it was supposed to come out this year, but it got moved. You know, I got delayed basically. I guess they must be doing so much for the Danganronpa 2x2. That's from what I've heard. Like apparently it was supposed to be like small, I guess like a smaller project, but now it's ballooned into a bigger project, which is cool. So yeah, I've been like basically recently, like within the past couple months, like I've been getting back into Danganronpa, and man, there's so much I missed. Like apparently, in between like V3 and now, there's another Danganronpa game, but it wasn't really a Danganronpa game. It was like about being on the beach or something. Apparently it was bad. I've never played that game. So any interactions, like anything that game reveals about these characters, I have no idea about. I was not there for that. I'm not really that interested in all honesty. Especially since everyone says it's bad, and like it doesn't even look like it's like an interesting sort of thing. Like if people say Ultra Despair Girls is bad, but like at least there's like some interesting stuff in there. Same thing with the Danganronpa free anime. I think you can. It's not the best, but there's some interesting stuff in there. From what I've heard of the beach game, like I haven't even heard that many people say like it's really interesting. Some of the bathing suits don't even look that good. So I mean, what the heck? Oh, I am thirsty. Okay. So anything that game reveals about these Danganronpa 2 characters, I don't know about. Okay, that's my point. But yeah, apparently that game came out. The fan scene, the scene for basically fan-made Danganronpa games, or like Danganronpa stories really, because I know not all of them are technically games. The scene for that has exploded from what it was before. Holy shit! I'm impressed. I mean, I've heard there's some controversy with some other game, with some fan games. We're not gonna get into that one, especially since like again, like I don't really know that much, too much about that. But like I have noticed like the scene for that exploded, because I remember back when I was into Danganronpa, like the biggest like fan game that I remember people talking about that was like actually like, coming out at that point was basically like it was called like Danganronpa Rebirth, I think, and it got canceled. Like there's this whole thing where there's this I think it started out as like some sort of April Fool's joke, and then like some people in the West decided to make it a real thing. I got canceled. I forget why exactly. It had something to do with money or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, there's Danganronpa Rebirth Voices, and I remember there weren't really like that many like actual there's like a bunch of fan games that are getting announced. Okay, because like I think there's an old Weeby News video. If you're a Danganronpa fan, I think you know Weeby News. Okay, there's an old Weeby News video from again before the boom in 2020. That's like talking about upcoming fan games, and so there's a bunch that were like supposed to be coming out. Like Kill Cure was announced. I remember when Kill Cure was announced. Apparently it has not come out yet, actually. Like I think like maybe the prologue has come out, but like the full thing has not come out yet. Apparently there's been like some sort of production issues with that. Understandable. I imagine that these projects are like really difficult, which makes me impressed because out of all the fan games that are like Weeby talked about in her video from like 7 years ago or something, I think the only one that I've heard of like that's actually completed was Danganronpa Another 2. Now, again, when I was a fan, but before, there was obviously Danganronpa Another 1 existed at this point. But because if you're a Danganronpa fan now, you probably know about the Danganronpa Another series because everyone talks about it now. But back in the day, like Danganronpa Another 1, I think came out like 2012 or something. Something like that. Like it came out a while ago, but it wasn't translated into English yet, and no one really talks about it. And I remember people were talking about Danganronpa Another 2, and I remember seeing like the main character, like her image, like floating around. But it hadn't come out yet. But apparently now, at this point, it's come out, and like everyone knows it, and everyone's like played it or watched Let's Plays of it, and like everyone like loves these characters, and like it's gotten so fucking successful. And there's apparently like even like a dub of it, which is insane. That is fucking insane. Because like I remember just kind of seeing like the idea floating around, like, oh yeah, Danganronpa Another 2 that might come out, alongside all these other fan games that didn't really come out or like are still in progress, So that is insane to me. Credit to, I think his name is Lineage. I think I haven't played those games yet. That might be something that we should do on stream, because like that sounds fun. Like I just think it's kind of amazing that like we have like 2 examples of successful fan games. Because again, I remember when the fan game scene was just like not what it is now. Back in the day, like again, like the biggest example of fan game in the English sphere at least was Rebirth Voices, which got canceled. They literally couldn't do it anymore. Like there's like some sort of legal money issue. Okay, so that is insane. That the fact that like Lineage was able to make 2 fan games, holy shit, and they're playable. Oh my god. And I think there's been other successful fan games. Like I've heard of Danganronpa Redemption, I believe it's called. Apparently there's like fan games that are made like on Instagram, which is insane. There's fan games that are like made on AO3, basically. I actually like here's the thing. I'm not going to turn my nose up at this because back when I was a fan, like before I started relapsing right now, way back in the day, like I had my own fan game idea. Okay, I had my own idea. I didn't really get that far. Like there's never any progress made on it. I don't think I was really mature enough to make a fan game anyways. Like I think like I was like 18 at that point. Like I know. I don't know. Granted, I've heard Lineage was a teenager when he made the first Danganronpa Another. But I think Lineage might just be built different. I don't know. But yeah, I had my own fan game idea, and like I had some interesting ideas. I'd say like I think I had some cool ideas. I don't know if I'd want to. I don't know if I'd actually want to get that. Make that at this point, like even though I'm getting back into Danganronpa, because again, like look at all the fan games that didn't get finished, and apparently there's some that have some sort of drama attached to them. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, because again, like I am like very much like a not a newcomer, but like, you know, I'm sort of a returnee, and like I've been missing out on the latest Danganronpa news. Okay, like I am not keeping up with all this stuff. So yeah, but yeah, I've heard there's like some sort of drama. So I don't know if I'd ever make that fangan. It never really got that far. Like it was just kind of like a bunch of ideas flowing around. But still, like I think it's really impressive that like people are actually, you know, people are actually making fangans now, and I think there's like even a Danganronpa Reddit, like a subreddit. Let me check. When was this made? Like Danganronpa. Not Danganronpa. No, Danganronpa. There's a Danganronpa wiki. That wasn't there before. Okay, here. When was this subreddit made? When was this subreddit made? Oh, it was made in 2018, so it did exist, but I feel like it's like so much bigger than it probably was back in the day. Because again, like fangans, like obviously, again, they existed, but like I feel like they've just exploded so much. Like when, you know, coming back to Danganronpa fandom, I'm just like, this was like not as much of a thing back in the day than it is now, apparently. Okay, let me just check something. Hold on. Where is it? Okay, so everything's working great. That's awesome. So my point is that I have missed a lot. It's been a long time, but I am back and I'm going to be ready for Danganronpa 2x2. And if you don't know, if you're a Danganronpa fan, you probably know. If you're not a Danganronpa fan, let me explain to you. So Danganronpa is a series where you basically get a whole bunch of high school students and they're put into a killing game where, like, you know, there's like people who get killed and then the murderers get put on trial. There's like, well, they have to basically not be caught, and like during a class trial, like all these characters have to figure out who did it. And if they figure out who did it, then that person gets executed. And if they can't figure it out, then they all get executed instead, and the perpetrator goes free. So Danganronpa 2 is, I think, the most beloved installment of the series. So we are getting Danganronpa 2x2, which is basically a redo of Danganronpa 2, but with different killers and different survivors and different victims. Just everything's all mixed up, you know, same scenario, basically. I think, I don't know. It might go crazy, but like, I think the idea is like it's basically sort of the same setup, the same killing game setup, you know, with the same characters, but it's gonna be a different story, which sounds so much fun. I mean, that sounds so much fun. You know, I remember even back when I was like, you know, before back when I was a fan, before I basically relapsed into, you know, now, you know, people would make like, sort of like executions, like fan-made executions for characters, because, oh man, the executions in Danganronpa are so fun. So, you know, they're usually so interesting, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, we basically, like, the idea of like, oh, what if like this person killed instead? Like, that's not really anything new. I think even some of the Danganronpas kind of do this. That's from what I've heard, at least. So it's so exciting. We're getting basically a redo of Danganronpa 2. You know, we get to revisit these beloved characters in this beloved scenario, but oh, it's gonna be spicy this time because I think it's called Slayhem. That sounds fucking insane. Okay, what the fuck does Slayhem mean? Because you see, like, there's like a difference. There's like options in like one of the trailers they released, or one of the panels, or they're talking about Danganronpa 2x2, and they showed like this image of the original version, which like has like all these like rainbows and like clouds and stuff, and then there's like the new version, Danganronpa 2x2, which is called Slayhem, which is insane. If you know how brutal the first version was, like that's gonna look fluffy in comparison. Now, ooh, sorry, it has been a long day. Let me tell you, okay? But that is just fucking insane to me. So I have heard the theory before that like Danganronpa 2x2, the reason why it might be called Slay Him might be because it's like gonna be basically because in Danganronpa canon, spoilers for Danganronpa, if you're watching this and you haven't played Danganronpa and you have any interest in playing Danganronpa, especially Danganronpa 2, do that first. Don't watch this video because I'm gonna be getting into spoilers, okay? But anyways, in Danganronpa 2, it's revealed that all these people except for Chiaki were ultimate despairs, or like they're remnants of despairs. That's right. They're remnants of despair, which basically means like they're basically all evil and they're corrupted by Junko Enoshima, and she's the ultimate despair. So basically, like it's a plot twist because for most of the game, like you see them and they're all basically pretty chill. I mean, maybe except for Fuyuhiko at first, like he's kind of not chill, but like they're basically like they seem. I don't want to say normal because they're all kind of crazy and they're in the Danganronpa way, but they seem like decent people until it turns out like, oh no, they were actually terrorists before, but they lost their memories of that. So I've seen some theories that in Slay Him, they're going to regain their memories of being the remnants of despair. And like sort of like what happened to Mikan. Where's Mikan? Okay, sort of like what happened to Mikan. I kind of hope that's not what's happening, just because like I feel like it'd get kind of boring if it was just everyone on despair mode all the time. Like we've seen what despair Mikan looks like. We've kind of seen what despair Nagito looks like. And it's just like, well, we're just gonna get a bunch of like evil, crazy people the entire game. I don't think it's that interesting. It could be that maybe they do remember, but they're not like their despair selves. Like maybe they just know that that's what happened. But at first, like, they find out a lot earlier because like I can't imagine that they would have that be a plot twist again. So maybe they find out earlier, but they're still basically themselves. So they're just like, what the fuck? Sort of like what happens at the end of the Danganronpa 2. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. And that might be better. To me, the idea of like, oh, they're just crazy now. They're just being crazy in the entire game. Like, that doesn't sound super interesting. But I could be wrong. Maybe that's what they're gonna do, and it's gonna be great. I don't know. We're not here yet. It's not 2027 yet, so who the fuck knows, okay? But yeah, so I don't know what Slay Him means. I have some ideas, like maybe they're not even gonna do the typical 5-chapter system. They could just go bonkers. I might do another video for predictions if they just go completely bonkers, but for now, I'm just gonna keep it to the typical 5-chapter system. It's really 6 chapters, but the 5 like normal chapters, and then like the 6th chapter, that's like where all the plot twists are revealed. I wonder what plot twist would be revealed in this, because like Danganronpa 2, we already did all the plot twists, so like I'm not really sure what more you can do, but I'm sure there's gonna be more. But like I'm just kind of wondering like what more plot twists can you reveal at this point? My idea, other than like that ultimate, that remnants of despair thing, which I don't really care for, is that these are like sort of like basically AIs. Like they're not really like, because okay, so in Danganronpa 2, if you remember, they're on like a computer simulation, and an idea that I have is like maybe like these are sort of like the brain scans of the characters, and they're not actually like the normal characters in the simulation. They're just like brain scans and they can't escape. That could be interesting, but this could just be a completely alternate scenario, and like they're not even going to worry about having an explanation for why this is happening. I don't know. Who knows? But I'm just gonna assume that we're going by the 5-chapter system. They're just gonna be survivors. There's gonna be a mastermind, and like or they could go bonkers. I don't know. I kind of would like it if they go bonkers, but who knows, Ooh, that is all my water. So I hope I do not die of thirst until I complete this tier list. After the tier list, it's fair game. Okay, so chapter 1, victim and killer. So here's the thing. these are not who I predicted to be the chapter 1 victims and killers, but I'm just bringing these 3 up. Okay. These are the main characters of Danganronpa 2, okay? Look at Hajime. He looks so nervous being surrounded by... He's right next to Nagito. And, you know, Jackie's chill. You know, I was going to say he looks nervous and surrounded by them, but, you know, Jackie's pretty chill. You know, Jackie's the only one who's not a remnant of despair. So, she's like the only one who, in this hypothetical scenario where they all go crazy, she would be the only one who wouldn't go crazy. At least I would hope. We need some voice of reason, you know? Okay, but anyways, my prediction is that we already saw, like, sort of like the, you know, Hajime be the protagonist, Chiaki being the helper and, you know, sacrificing herself, and Komaeda being the rival and going crazy in chapter 5 where they both die. We've seen that. I don't think we can do that again. You know, the arc of all of these characters was done pretty perfectly, I think, in Danganronpa 2. So I think in Danganronpa 2x2, you have to do something very different. And I also think in Danganronpa 2x2, at least one of these 3 are not going to be alive by the end of chapter 1. That's my guess, because, like, again, they're such an iconic trio, and we've already seen what happens when they live for most of the game, and we've already seen them, you know, go through this arc. And I think in order to really shake things up, because the thing of Danganronpa is, like, you know, chapter 1 is where everything gets sort of like shaken up, you know, and I shouldn't say everything, you know, that's not like, you know, one of the later chapters, but, you know, the thing is that their chapter 1s always, like, sort of like throw you off your feet, you know? Sayaka getting killed and then her turning out to have some sort of scheme in the first Danganronpa, like that kind of surprises you, you know? You know, in Danganronpa 2, you know, looks like Togami, or, you know, Yakuya Togami, like, suddenly dies after having survived the first game. Of course, it turns out he's the imposter, but, you know, you don't know that at that point. And also it turns out Komaeda is fucking crazy, you know, and you know, Danganronpa V3, I mean, that goes completely bonkers, you know? That just goes crazy. Let me just make sure everything's working right. Hold on, my friends. Okay. Okay, yeah, sorry. Just some technical error, but okay. You know, Danganronpa V3, if you play that game, you know that one goes fucking crazy. So Danganronpa 2x2, like, has to have some sort of, like, twist to sort of, like, keep you on your toes in chapter 1. And I think the easiest way to do that would be to kill at least one of these people off. So I've heard the theory that maybe, like, Hajime won't be the protagonist in this one, which I think could be cool. I don't know how much I believe that, but you know what? I think that would be fucking cool. Okay, I think that would be fucking awesome. And I've seen, you know, multiple theories for who could be the protagonist. You know, maybe Komaeda. I don't think he could be a big protagonist. I think part of him is that, like, he kind of needs that mystery about him. Like, I don't really think it would be good if, like, he were just constantly in his head. And he's also kind of crazy, so it's like, I don't think he'd really work as a protagonist personally. Chiaki could be an interesting protagonist. She would know a lot of stuff because, like, she's basically, you know, she's an AI. So she'd have a very different perspective than Hajime, but that might be what we need. I've also seen a lot of people theorize that Mahiru could be a protagonist. I am not using this tier like I'm supposed to. Ignore that. You know, because I think there's rumors. I don't know how true this is, that Mahiru was supposed to be a protagonist and then she got she basically got changed to a side character. I don't know how true that is. I think she could be a good protagonist because she's pretty chill and she's pretty normal compared to the other characters, which makes her good protagonist material. Oh, I saw someone bring up that, you know, Ultra Despair Girls did set the precedent for having characters that, you know, seem like side characters in their first game, basically being turned into main characters. Because, you know, Ultra Despair Girls, it's focused on Makoto's sister, Komaru, and her sidekick, you know, the other main character is Toko, and Toko just seems like such a random choice. I actually think Toko's pretty perfect for Ultra Despair Girls, but you know, she seems like a random choice in terms of like, she seems like a side character in the first game, so it's like, why her? But she actually does it good as a main character. So, you know, there is precedent for that. You know, we could have like fucking Ibuki as protagonist. Like, who fucking knows, man? Now, I don't think they're gonna do this. I don't think they're going to do this. But, you know, Toko was not a very popular character in I think the Western side of the fandom. At least like the English-speaking side of the fandom before Ultra Despair Girls. Like, a lot of people say I didn't like Toko until I played Ultra Despair Girls. That was not my experience. I actually always liked Toko, but I realized like a lot of people didn't really like Toko at first. That's fine. But yeah, I believe she was always pretty popular in the Japanese side of things. You know, even if she wasn't very popular in the West. So I don't think they're gonna do this. But if Kodaka and, you know, the people behind this game wanted to repeat that, then Hiyoko should be a fucking major character in Danganronpa 2x2. She should either be the protagonist or the assistant character or the helper character. Because Hiyoko, very similarly, is kind of hated in the West, but she's actually pretty well liked by Japanese fans. So Hiyoko could be the Chiaki of this game. And that would go perfectly with the idea that Mahiru is the protagonist. Okay, I don't think they're gonna do that. And in all honesty, I don't think that would really... I don't know if I'd really like that, because... oh, sorry. I feel like one of these two has to die. And in my opinion, I would kill Mahiru before I kill Hiyoko. Just because, like, I think that's... I know we've already done, like, oh, Hiyoko's mourning Mahiru, but I don't know, because I feel like Hiyoko, that would be a good opportunity for Hiyoko to try going through her character arc again. I know a lot of people were very unhappy that Hiyoko did not complete her character arc in the first Danganronpa 2. So I think that'd be a good opportunity. You know, if Hiyoko was killed, you know, Mahiru would be sad, but I don't know if it would really, like, I don't know if Mahiru would really, like, need that to happen, if you know what I mean. You know, she'd just be kind of like, oh man, like, I not to downplay Mahiru's sadness in this scenario, but you know, she doesn't really need that to happen. So I don't think, like, unfortunately, I know, as funny as it is, I don't know if I think helper Hiyoko and protagonist Mahiru is like the best scenario, but it is funny to imagine. I know a lot of people would be fucking pissed off. Okay, but anyways, back to these three, this iconic trio. Okay, so I've also heard theories that, like, Hajime could either die, basically, like, because there's this point where, like, his, like, cheek gets slashed by a bullet, and there's, like, theories that maybe he'll just get shot in the head. That could be interesting, or he'll revert to Izuru Kamakura, you know, his sort of, like, dark self, and then he'll basically just be the mastermind for the entire game. Sort of like, oh, sorry. One of the cats is screaming. What was I gonna say? Yeah, basically sort of like a looming antagonist, I guess. Which could be interesting. So I don't know. And I know he wouldn't really fit in the chat. I would just put, like, if anyone dies here, in my theory, I would just say, like, they're the trial victim and killer, even if they don't technically fit. So I think for now we're gonna run with that. We're gonna go with Izuru Kamakura being the mastermind, and he just reverts to Izuru Kamakura. That would be interesting, I think. And then I think maybe Chiaki could be the protagonist. I know it's kind of like a boring option. I know my Mahiru and Hiyoko as fanfic, like, I know that was more interesting. I don't know. Maybe if we go more bonkers, maybe. Oh, I've also seen, like, a lot of people say they want Peko to outlive Fujihiko in this one. That could be interesting. I don't know if Pekka would be a good protagonist. I know it would be kind of interesting because okay, here's the thing. I think Fuyuhiko has to fucking go. That he should be a killer in this one. I don't know. I'm gonna put Chiaki back here because I don't actually want her to be. I'm gonna put Chiaki as a survivor. Because I want her to live through this one. In this beautiful world, let's have it so Chiaki's the protagonist. She survives. She can't actually escape because she's an AI, but she survives. And then Fuyuhiko has to fucking go. And the problem is that like I don't, because like Pekka was very protective of him, Pekka very, like, she would not let him kill my hero in Danganronpa 2. I don't feel like she would let him get killed unless the only situation I could think of is like, I know in the original she had a diarrhea or something and she missed out on a lot of stuff that happened in the first chapter in the party, I believe. It's been some time, so forgive me if I'm missing details, okay? I'm not lying about being a Danganronpa fan, okay? It's been a really long time and I haven't replayed the games. But yeah, so what could happen is like she could like be incapacitated in some way, and then that gives Hiko the opportunity to kill someone, and then he has to get executed by that, and then like, for that, and Pekko has to mourn him, and she'll be very upset. And people will also probably realize like, oh wait, you're actually like his assistant. You're actually his bodyguard. And she'll be like, yeah, and I failed. Oh my god. I guess she could be a protagonist too, if we want to go kind of crazy. But I think for now we're just gonna keep Chiaki as protagonist. And yeah, so I think Fuyuhiko would probably be a killer. I could see him being a killer. I don't know if he would actually kill Hajime. I'm just putting Hajime here because like the way I envision it, like the actual Hajime himself dies and he becomes Izuru Kamakura, not because Fuyuhiko necessarily kills him. And then who would he kill? He could kill Nagito. I heard that Kodaka's apparently said like popularity has no bearing on what happens in this game, which sounds good. I'm not entirely sure if I 100% believe him though, if I'm gonna be completely honest. But that sounds good. Like I would like that. But I don't know, something tells me Kamaida's still gonna last some time. Even though I wouldn't mind if he gets killed early. Maybe I should just put Kamaida here, like he kills Kamaida, and then Kamaida's like, yes, it's for hope or whatever. I don't fucking know. And then like Hajime is like evil now, so he's not technically dead, but he's like the Hajime personality is basically dead, and he gets taken over by Izuru Kamakura. I don't think this is what's gonna happen. This is very, very optimistic. This is kind of like I don't know if I'm really doing my ideal scenario or what I think is gonna happen. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I feel like Kamaida's is probably, because we've seen him explode, but I feel like he should probably live a bit longer. But I just don't know who else he would kill. I guess we could have him kill Teru. Teru is probably gonna live a little bit longer. I don't think he'll be a survivor, but he'll probably live a bit longer. Actually, here. A lot of people want Sonia to kill Kazuichi in Chapter 3. That would fit in Chapter 3 because it would be extremely predictable, but that's kind of not what I want to happen. If Sonia were a Chapter 3 killer, it would be the most fucking predictable thing ever. But on the other hand, that would fit in with all the other Chapter 3 killers. So maybe it would be perfect. I don't know. But I think I prefer it if she doesn't kill Kazuichi. Like I don't know if this is really like, again, like what I predict versus like what I want. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. I don't know. But I feel like a lot of people are saying Kazuichi has to go. I agree. I feel like Kazuichi, like he just seems like someone who's gonna die this time. So I think like, yeah, Hajime basically goes crazy. He becomes, actually, maybe I should just add a new tier because like this doesn't quite fit. Add a tier. Okay. Wait, no. How do I add a tier? Add a row below. Did I add a row below? Okay, yes. Mastermind. Hajime is the mastermind. He kills Kazuichi. You know, Kazuichi was a survivor. He got his chance. He has to go now, and so does Fujihiko. So, okay, and then Kamaida's gonna live for a little bit longer. I know, like, you know, oh, popularity has no bearing on this. I know, and I'm not even like the biggest Kamaida fan, honestly, but like, I feel like killing him in chapter 1, I feel like, you know, I know I said like one of these three has to go at some point, but I feel like just having him and Hajime basically die, and Chiaki being the protagonist, that feels a bit too perfect, and like I'm just like I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be that self-indulgent. No. So he'll survive a little bit longer. So who else? So yeah, he'll kill. I don't know if this would really shake things up. Now that I think about it, because it's like, well. It's like, okay, yeah, you have two survivors killing each other. Okay. I don't know if it's like that impressive. I mean, it would shake things up though if Hajime does become the mastermind. So that could be the shaker-upper. It would also shake things up if Kamaida was the victim. That might fit a bit more. Cause you know, they always see that thing where it's like the protagonist seems important. Should I just have Hajime die and like not really get into the easy route? Maybe actually, what if Hajime is the victim and then he comes back to life as Izuru Kamakura? And you might be like, that sounds bonkers, but remember, we are in a simulation and this is Danganronpa, so this might actually make more sense. So that way we kind of get the best of both worlds. Okay, you know, I'm gonna go with that. I guess we can delete this tier because like this doesn't really make sense anymore. I can't have two Hajimes because I don't know how to add two Hajimes. So trial to victim or killer. Okay. I do feel like Sonia probably, I would like to see her execution. You know, there's some characters that like I kind of just want to see their executions. I'm gonna add it like a tier list. That's basically just like add a row below. Yeah, sure. Want to see executions. I'll probably delete this too. I would like to see Ibuki's execution. I'd like to see Akane's execution. I'd like to see Kazuichi's execution. I'd like to see her execution. I'd really like to see Mahiru's execution. That's about it. And like, a lot of these are. Oh, I don't think Nagito can be executed because he has that ultimate luck. Unless he wanted to die. You know, I did see a theory that maybe Nagito could basically they would try to execute him, but because of his luck bullshit, he would basically survive and he would just fuck everything up. That sounds cool. I don't know where to put that in the tier list. So I'm not gonna get into that. Okay. Obviously, not all of these people can be killers. And okay, who would realistically be a killer? That's the other question. Kazuichi, in all honesty, I think he would be an awful killer unless he did it by accident and he didn't even know, because he would fold instantly. Okay, this man is a pussy. This man would not make it. I could see him being tricked though. But like basically like killing someone. And sort of like what happened to Gonta. Gonta wasn't really tricked, but you know, he didn't remember what happened. So it would sort of be like that sort of situation. And that's the only situation where I could see him be a killer, just because like, I mean, like he's such a wimp, you know? Okay, so anyways, like trial to victim and killer. So, I know they said like no repeat victims or killers. I'm sure there's gonna be repeat victims. Like I feel like there has to be. And I've seen some people say like there should be repeat killers too, or like there shouldn't be repeat killers. I feel like they're not gonna do repeat killers just so they don't repeat executions, unless they really want to redo an execution. sort of like what happened to Mikan. We could put Mikan here, even though she already got executed. A lot of people say, oh, I want to see them redo Mikan's execution. I also think that would be great. I don't know if we're gonna do that, but I think that would be fucking great. Because you know, there's a lot of disagreements I have with the Danganronpa fandom, but one thing that I will agree with them on is that Bye Bye Ouchies is ass. Bye Bye Ouchies is probably the worst execution in the series. Holy shit! I actually think Danganronpa 2 in general has a kind of the weakest executions, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like even the better executions, like none of them really reach the highs of, you know, like Leon's execution or Kaide's execution or Karumi's execution. Danganronpa V3 I think has the best executions. And you know, the Danganronpa 1 has some pretty good executions. Danganronpa 2 is like I hope we see some better ones in 2x2, you know. But yeah, so if any of these people were to be like repeat killers, I would want it to be Mikan. I don't think it's gonna be Mikan. I don't think they're gonna do that. My guess is that we're gonna see some repeat victims, but not repeat killers. I would prefer that, even though, you know, Killer Mikan again could be an interesting redo, but I don't think they're gonna do that, you know. So yeah, these are just sort of like ideas that I have for like people that could be executed. Oh, sorry. I am tired. Ooh. Okay, so now we gotta do Danganronpa victim and killer. You know, I might actually want to add some tiers just for like who I predict to see go. Add a tier below, add a row below. I don't actually know if I need these 2 rows, but these are people that just like I feel like are just they just kind of have to go. It's like Kazuichi. I don't know if I really see Komaeda being a survivor. Although it could be interesting because he was so fucking upset when he found out what that everyone was a remnant of despair. It would be interesting to see him go through a character arc where he kind of accepts that. I'm not really the biggest Komaeda fan, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. So part of me kind of wants to see him die. But it would be interesting to see him sort of like go through a character arc and survive to the end. That could be interesting. I don't know. I'm just going to keep him neutral for now. Yes, who else is dead? I feel like Tsugami is like, I feel like he has to go. I'm sorry. I like Fogami. I like the imposter. I feel like he has to go. Teru has to go. I'm sorry. He can live a little bit longer than he did the first time, but he has to go. I'm sorry. Who else? Akane. Oh, you know, I do want to see Akane be a killer. I feel like Akane has it in her to be a killer. I feel like Akane has it in her to be a fucking murderer. Yeah, I just, you know, because if you've played her free time events, you know that she actually has like this really twisted backstory. It's really fucked up, and she's gone through a lot of shit. You miss out on all that if you don't play her free time events, because like the main story doesn't really go in depth about her. So a lot of people just come out of the game thinking that she's boring. She's actually pretty interesting, I think. But you know, she has gone through a lot, and I feel like she's the kind of person who probably would kill to survive. And then she might not even feel that bad about it, honestly. I feel like she'd probably just be like, nah, that's what I had to do. And like so like, if anything, she's kind of the opposite of Kazuichi, where like, I feel like she could actually probably try to get away with it by like, I don't know if like having a poker face. Yeah, it's like sort of having a poker face about it. Like she could be kind of sneaky. I would like to see that dark side, you know? Okay, so who else? Okay, you can't just be these 4. Because there has to be like, how many victims, like killers are there usually? I honestly, you know, part of my prediction for this him is like, I feel like there's gonna be more people dead than last time. I know a lot of people maybe didn't really like it that there are only 3 survivors in Danganronpa V3. Like, I feel like that's what's gonna happen. Actually, guys, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get a glass of water because I am thirsty, okay? I'm gonna be right back, so just hang on. Hang on. I am back. Okay, hold on. Okay, we are back, friends. Okay, just gonna make sure everything's working as it should. Okay, is everything right? Okay, everything is right. We are back. Let me just make sure. Everything is like... Oh, sorry. Excuse me. It is... I am fucking tired. I got my glass of water. I was fucking dying of the heat, okay? Like, the summer has been unrelenting. Ugh. And I think next summer is gonna be even worse. I think if the temperatures... things keep going the way they are. Let me just make sure. Okay, everything's working correctly. Okay, so I noticed tier list is still a bit of a mess. I haven't even gotten to trial 2. I'm just kind of throwing ideas out there. I don't fucking know, man. Okay, so yeah, these people have to go. So okay, there has to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 12. Yeah, there's gonna be at least 12 people dead because like there's usually there's usually like 5 or 6 survivors except for V3, which has 3 survivors, I believe. So I feel like most of these people are gonna be dead. So we're gonna need some repeat deaths. You know what would be fucking funny? I don't think they're gonna do this, but what would be fucking crazy is like, imagine if Mikan became a remnant of despair again. Like she just got to the remembering disease again, but then like she was still a survivor. Like she just never got around to killing anyone. And like sort of like a genocide show in the first Danganronpa. Can you fucking imagine? I don't think they're gonna do that, but can you fucking imagine? That would be kind of bonkers. Like imagine if we just kind of, because I know like I said like, oh, I don't want everyone to become a remnant of despair again. But imagine if like just one of them did and they were just kind of showing. They're just chillaxing. I kind of want Mikan to be a survivor. I don't know. I feel like she should go undead. I feel like she should die, but I kind of want that to happen. I kind of want her to just go bonkers and then just survive somehow. That would be fucking insane. I want Ibuki to survive. I feel like she's dead. I feel like this has to happen. Feel like I feel it, you know, she's so bright and positive. Like I feel like she has to go. I want Hiyoko to survive. I want Peko to survive. You know, I know a lot of people are like, oh, you know, these two. I think these two, like a lot of people are rooting for these two, myself included. But you know, the survivors can't all be girls. And like I said, I feel like the survivors should be like a smaller amount than last time. I would also like Gundam must be to be a survivor. This is way too wish fulfillment-y. I don't think this is what's gonna happen. And why does Gundam have a harem? What the fuck? Yeah, I feel like Ipuki has to go. You know, even if Chiaki is the protagonist, she could also still die at the end, because I feel like Chiaki is always like sort of a tragic character. I feel like she could like basically die, or but it could also be tragic if like they do manage to make it out, like they're not just like copies, they're not just brain scans, and Chiaki gets left behind. I don't know. I don't know what to do. And Nekomaru just has to die. Sorry, I don't dislike Nekomaru, but like I feel like he's just kind of has to go. Actually, I have an idea. Nekomaru victim, Akane killer. Oh, that would be sad. That would be fucking sad, because you know these two were like really close in the first game. But I feel like I could see it. I feel like I can see it happening. Sweet, I am drinking water. Oh, Christ, and my water's already almost always all gone. Oh, this is the heat. Okay, but yeah, I feel like, because I feel like these two have to go. I feel like this would be a really sad scenario. I don't know how Akane would kill him. I feel like it would be by accident, or maybe he would like sacrifice himself again. And like basically she'd be like, ah, fuck, and she was still trying to get away with it, because you know she is a survivor. Okay, she is a fucking survivor. So yeah, I feel like that I can see that happening. I see Akane as a killer. I love Akane. I actually do really think she thinks she's really cool. But I can see her being a killer. Okay, so trial free. Ooh, this is the messy one. Okay, this is usually where someone goes psychotic, and I feel like Sonia would be the most predictable answer. But you know, chapter 3 killers are usually pretty predictable, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. So I feel like that makes sense. And this is where we could put the Sonia killing Kazuichi thing. I did see a scenario people brought up that like, oh, what if Sonia kills and Kazuichi and Gundam still survive, and they're just like, what the fuck? Yeah, but so I feel like Sonia killing Kazuichi, that'd be, on one hand, that would be too predictable. But on the other hand, chapter 3s are always kind of like that. But on the other hand, like, I don't know if we really need, I don't know if that's a trend that we really need to continue, you know? Like, I feel like that's something that we could kind of move away from. I think we could still have the double murder. We could still have, because like, that's like a good spot to have a double murder. But like, I feel like, sorry, drinking some water. I feel like the messier aspect of chapter 3, like we can do away with that, you know? So yeah, we could do away with that, but Kazuichi, I still feel like should die. You know, I feel like everyone agrees Kazuichi needs to go. Oh, something that could be interesting is that if there's basically like 2 killers and one of them survives because they did after the first kill, you know, sort of like that idea that was suggested in Be Freed and they didn't do it for some reason. I don't know why you bring up that idea and you don't actually bother to do it. Like that's still so fucking crazy to me. I know I'm not the only one who thinks this, okay? I've seen some people try to, you know, say like, oh, well, you know, we kind of saw that, you know, with like Pihiko, you know, he was basically responsible for My Hero's death, but, you know, he survived. But I'm like, no. That's a fundamentally different scenario, okay? Because Peko did the dirty work for him, okay? And then he, you know, his character arc, you know, he does feel bad about My Hero's death, but a lot of his character arc comes from him knowing that he got Peko killed. Same thing with Kokichi and Gonta in chapter 4 of Be Free, is like, you know, Kokichi is very much responsible for like a lot of stuff. But, you know, first of all, like Gonta, again, like, he wasn't tricked. Like, he's also responsible. But also, you know, there's so much focus on what Kokichi did to Gonta and like how basically he got Gonta killed. And he got Gonta executed because he got Gonta to do the dirty work for him. Okay? I feel like that's a fundamentally different scenario than someone doing the dirty work themselves and getting let off because of a technicality. Even if they feel bad about it, like I feel like that's like a different situation because it's like, again, for these other examples, you know, Mihiko, again, not doubting that he feels bad about what happened to Mahiru, about what he did to Mahiru. But also, like, you know, there's so much focus on what he lost with Peko, you know? That's kind of, like, basically when it turns out, like, oh, Peko and him are connected, the focus largely goes to that whole situation, you know? So, you know, you remove that and it's just an entirely different thing. Entirely different thing. I already drank all of my water. Holy shit. That's okay. That's okay. We're gonna be wrapping things up. I know it doesn't look like we're anywhere near done. We're gonna be wrapping things up, okay? Oh, holy shit. Christ, the summer has been hot. Okay. But yeah, so anyways, I think it'd be interesting if one of the killers basically survived because they just get away with it. Or also, you know, you could have the idea of like Nagito killing someone, but he gets away with it because he goes for an execution, but he's like, nah, I still want to live. So the execution just doesn't work. That would be fucking bonkers, but that would fit. So, you know, maybe like he could be a killer. But like, I don't know. I feel like if he's gonna do that, like, I feel like that'd be a bit later. I don't know. But anyways, Kazuichi, I feel like has to go. Who else is a victim? In this situation? I want to just. I was gonna put Teru here, but like I want to just kill off both the perverts. Then we have Ibuki. Ibuki already died in chapter 3, so I feel like we can't just do that again. You know, Mahiru, I don't know if I could see Mahiru being a killer, but I feel like it would be kind of interesting if like she was a killer, because like I'm just imagining a photography themed execution. I don't know how that would go, but I feel like it'd be interesting. So like maybe like Mahiru kills Kazuichi for some reason, and Hyoko's really sad. Just like it just fucking devastates Hyoko because, you know, she hates murderers. Like, yeah, she like goes through a photography themed execution, or she's the surviving killer. I don't know. And then who else would be killed? There has to be someone else. I don't want to just kill off both the perverts. You know, Mikan maybe could be a victim. I know I kind of want her to survive, but like I feel like she'd be a victim this time. And then she basically, it's like sort of a reverse of what happened last time. You know, she like doesn't get killed. She doesn't kill. She inside is the victim. That could be a reversal. But if I wanted to do two killers, I don't know who would kill Mikan. No, I don't want it to be Peko. Who would feel bad about killing? Maybe Ibuki? Maybe Sonia? Maybe Hyoko? Like if these two try to do like a double murder, but like I don't, but Hyoko's such a hater of murderers that like I don't feel like she would do that. I don't think that makes any sense. You know, I can't see it. Maybe like Peko like trying to like sort of like kill herself by like, killing one of these, but then it turns out like, oh no, you actually it doesn't count because you were the second killer. Maybe Ibuki, because I could see Ibuki feeling really bad, but I don't know why she would kill anyone. I guess you could have revenge against Mikan. Oh, you know, chapter 4 is like, they usually tend to have a sacrifice. So I'm actually gonna say, okay, you know what? I want Teru to die. And I don't want him to survive that long. So you know what? Fuck it. We are killing both the perverts. I don't fucking care. Because I'm like, I feel like he survived for too long. Now that I think about it. Now that I look at chapter 4, I'm like, wait a second, we can't have Terra in chapter 4. Fuck that, man. Anyways, I feel like the imposter has to die around here. Okay, because like this is like sort of like chapter where there's like some sort of sacrifice, basically. And I feel like the imposter would be kind of perfect for that, don't you think? You know, because like he's such a leader, he's such a noble character, despite the fact that he's a liar. Like, I feel like that would be kind of perfect. So, yeah, but who would... I don't know if he'd be a killer or a victim. But I can't have Nagito die in chapter 5 again. Yeah, and so he would either have to like be a killer in chapter 4 and basically kind of get away with it, which could be interesting. Oh my god, I realized I have a scenario where like Mahir is just killing the perverts. I'm gonna edit chapter 3 because like that's hysterical, but no, I don't think that really makes sense. I don't think that would be a good chapter. Yeah, so he's either gonna die here or he's a survivor. I mean, this does prevent it from being so girl heavy. I feel like, I don't know if I really see Chiaki like Roy being a survivor, even if she's the protagonist. Like, I feel like there'd be some sort of self-sacrifice with that. Sort of like what happened with Kibo, you know? Yeah, so I feel like he'd be a victim or killer. He would die here. He would die here. Maybe he's a killer. Maybe it's sort of like what happened with Gundam. And he kills Sonia, or maybe Sonia could be that character who kills, but like she like survives and then she feels bad about it. The only reason I hesitate with that is because like she's already a survivor, and I feel like people might just be like, oh, why is she just a survivor again? Because like but if she goes through a character arc where she feels bad about killing one of these guys, then like that could make people more interested in her, because again, like a lot of people are not like really the biggest Sonia fans. I like Sonia. I think she's pretty cool. I realize she's not as interesting as maybe Hiko or Ibuki or whatever. But like I feel like she's pretty cool. I can also see Ibuki having that role. I could also see Ibuki doing that. We could also have maybe if Mikan is a killer and like she, again, like we kind of have her go crazy and like she feels bad about it. I don't know if that I really believe that, but like that could work. Actually, what if imposter killed Mikan? I don't know why he would do that, but what if he did? That could be interesting. Because I feel like the imposter would have to like... I just feel like he would be perfect for some sort of self-sacrifice scenario. And he's already been a victim, so like I don't know if he would kill someone, but like I also don't really know that much about him. Yeah, because like he's kind of a mysterious character and he didn't really get that much screen time in Danganronpa 2. I know he got more in Danganronpa 3, the anime, but like, he might be a killer. He could have it in him. Ibuki. Where is Ibuki fitting into this? Oh, what if Mahiru is the killer and she survives and like this causes a rift between her and Hiyoko, and then like eventually Mahiru dies and Hiyoko's like, oh, I feel bad now, and like they maybe like they reconcile, but like she but she still dies. Oh, that could be interesting. I just realized I don't actually know who the rival character in this would be. I mean, we could have Kamaida be the rival again if we want to be crazy, unless he dies early. Because I know he was already the rival, but like it could be like, oh, he's sort of a different rival. Like I feel like he could bounce off of Chiaki differently than he did with Hajime. I don't know. Because I don't know who else would be a rival. Unless, like, again, we just had... If Mahiru were the protagonist, like, I would have someone else be the rival. But, like, as Chiaki as the protagonist, like, I don't really know who would be a good rival. We're just not going to get into that. How about that? Why did I kill Peko? No, I want Peko to be a survivor. So, yeah, maybe, like... This situation is just too perfect though. Maybe I don't know. Part of me is kind of regretting my chapter 2 options, because I'm like, this is a perfect opportunity to kill Terra. Maybe fuck it. Who's to say Terra can't? Who's to say we can't have 2 double murders? just keep it on our toes. I don't fucking know. Or maybe if we have like, because I feel like that's a bit too early for a double murder. But maybe we just get double murders. How about that? Yeah, just like double murders. Because like that would fit more with the idea of Slayhem, you know? Like sort of like, and because I am thinking like there should be less survivors than the first time. Like how are we gonna do that? Maybe double murders. That would be spicy. That'd be fucking bonkers. That way we get rid of Teru. We don't just have the murders. We don't just have the perverts getting killed in one chapter. And this would provide a scenario where we get like a traditional double murder and, the sort of spicy double murder where there's actually 2 killers. Actually, yeah, I kind of like that. Actually, I don't know who the other victim in this scenario in chapter 3 would be though. Maybe like the double killer should actually be in chapter 4. Because then like this lures you into a sense of security until you're like, oh fuck. The only reason why I hesitate with that though is because that gives less time for a character arc. So like I feel that gives less time for any potential character arc. But again, if it's like, it's like sort of like Shuichi and Kaito, it could be like a rift in like chapter 4 between her and Mahiru. And then like after that, like Mahiru, like they reconcile and Mahiru dies in chapter 5. I feel like that could be interesting, So yeah, we could do that. Oh, excuse me if there's any noises out there. So how about trial free victims, killers? Oh, sorry. So how about, yeah, I feel like, I don't know why the imposter would go crazy though and kill both of these. I don't know what situation that would necessitate that. Unless maybe Kamida could actually die here. Maybe Kamida could die here, and then, cause he's like, oh, it's the hope. I really want the hope, and I want to die. I could see that happening. I could see him doing that, and like the imposter would be like, fine. I guess this is what we need to do. Please don't. And then like maybe like he does that as a self-sacrifice, but he also doesn't realize that fucking Terry is getting killed by Mikan for some reason. Like she just fucking loses it. Actually, I want Terry to die sooner, so I'm gonna swap them. Yeah, so the Kazuichi's getting killed by my Mikan for some reason, and maybe she survives. Maybe she makes it out this time. So she's still a killer, and like maybe she's not even. She might be ultimate despair again. Remnant and despair again. But like she just makes it out. I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. Oh, but I still kind of like Killer Mikan. Okay, I feel like, fuck, I just don't know what scenario would cause Mikan to kill 2 people. So like, I feel like it makes more sense if she's like sort of like, if she is like sort of like a second killer. Maybe Ibuki could also do well as a second killer too. I could see Ibuki getting pushed to a point, and then like she kills someone, but she makes it out, and she feels really, really bad about it. Yeah, so actually, I still think the second killer should maybe go in chapter 3, just for the character development purposes. Yeah, so there's Ibuki and Mikan. You know what? I'm not really sure. I feel like one of these two is like one of these two gets executed and one of these two die. And one of these two survive. I'm not entirely sure who. I don't know why. Just like one of them and one of these two ends up as a survivor despite killing someone. Yeah, sure. And then chapter 3. Oh, okay. So I unfortunately ended up with a scenario where these two are gonna kill each other. That doesn't really make sense. That doesn't really make sense. Maybe I need to rethink this. maybe I realized I created a mess. Maybe my double murder idea was a bit crazy. Actually, wait, okay, so maybe like not Mikan, no, sorry. I keep on mixing up these two names. I don't know why. Mahiru, like, sort of like sacrifices herself and like Sonia kills her for some reason. I don't know if that's really satisfying. I don't know if that's satisfying. I just realized I have like I have Chiaki having a like, I have Gundam being having a harem again. I need to delete this there because I'm just putting like random people here. But maybe Soda survives. Wait, no, Soda wouldn't survive, but so maybe Soda shouldn't go here. Now we're just having the perverts killing each other again. Maybe I should just go with the more predictable option where it's just like, Sonia killing the perverts. I don't know. This might be the most predictable option, but like, this might make the most sense, honestly, now that I think about it. Oh, maybe like, she is a killer, but like, people think she killed Kazuichi, but like, actually it was fucking Ibuki for some reason. No, but I kind of want... What if, like, yeah, Mahiru is a killer. I kind of feel like, the more that I think about it, I kind of feel like Mahiru would be a really cool killer, both for the execution and because like, I feel like that would really fuck Kyoko up. So, yeah, I feel like I've created too much of a harem with the survivors. Like, I don't know if I want Nagito. I guess if Nagito goes through a character arc, he could be a good survivor. But like, I feel like he has to die. I feel like he has to die somehow. I don't know why or how, but like, I feel like it's necessary. I feel... Oh boy, okay. You know, I'm just gonna keep him here for now. This is a bit more well-rounded. I also feel like maybe Gundam would be better off if he just if he loses Sonia. That could be an interesting character arc for him, you know? That could be interesting for him. So how about, okay, this leaves more options for chapter 5. Yeah, so I feel like Mahiru. I feel like Mahiru will die here. I guess I got rid of my double murder idea. Maybe that didn't quite work. I don't know. Mahiru will like sort of sacrifice herself. I guess like she could also sacrifice herself to the imposter, and then that will free Nagito. But I don't know. But like she'll die and like she'll reconcile. Maybe this might be good for like, because I feel like this is such a harem. But I realize I'm just having the like if I have like these people be killers for some reason, I don't know. Then like I'm kind of just having the typical amount of survivors at this point, which I don't know. I kind of wanted to shake things up, but you know, maybe if Chiaki dies, if Chiaki is just like an AI and she's like, no, I have to sacrifice myself for some reason, like. That would even things out. I also feel like that maybe this is a bit too perfect. I don't know. You know what? Fuck it. It's my tier list. Whatever. Because like I just can't. None of the other men I can see as survivors. Okay, and like I didn't really want. I kind of wanted Kamina to die. But now I'm just like, fuck it. Like, maybe he just goes through his character arc. So just so like we don't just get the Gundam harem, because like that doesn't seem right at all. Okay, fuck it. Though I don't know why doesn't she like the imposter? Doesn't she like the imposter? I don't know why he would kill her or she would kill him. I guess. What else? What? So I'm guessing if my hero kills someone, and then like she basically gets away with it, and then like she just causes a rift, but then like she dies or she gets executed. But I feel like someone who like gets away with murder, I feel like they'd be a good survivor. I guess it could cause a rift between them. Yeah, maybe. I don't know what this layer is doing here. I'm going to delete you. Okay. I'm not really satisfied with this tier list. I feel like this is too obvious. Maybe my hero. What do I do with my hero? Maybe. Yeah, my hero is a killer. I guess we can also have Tugami be a victim again. No, I want Terra to live to chapter 4 though. I guess it would be sad if he like self-sacrificed himself and then like Ibuki killed him for some reason. And then it's like some sort of sacrifice. You know, that might be more likely actually than him being a killer. Like maybe like she kills him and like it's like sort of like a sacrifice thing. Maybe. I don't know why my hero would kill Mikan. Other than I keep mixing her names up. But I don't know what about that would necessitate murder. You know, actually, if Hyuko goes through a character arc, maybe my hero already died in chapter 2. I probably should have just done a tier list where it's just like, you know, predicted dead people and predicted survivors. I'm not really satisfied with this at all. Maybe we should have a suicide. You know, maybe that might make more sense. Maybe that might even things out a bit, actually, maybe. Because I'm like, I'm not really satisfied with this list. Yeah, maybe, maybe, like, my hero kills herself because she knows, like, she fucked the things up with Hyuko. And then, like, Hyoko's like, oh, it was actually for, like, self-sacrifice. I know we already did self-sacrifice, but I don't know, there's, like, another self-sacrifice. I was like, you know, like, chapter 5 is where the tables get turned anyway, so, like, we could do another suicide. And then, like, maybe they execute her corpse or something. I don't know, fucking know. Or maybe Kamida could be a killer. Maybe, you know what, this is perfect. Okay, I know I just put Gundam in a harem again. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know what else to do. Like, I feel like Kamida, like, I feel like he kind of has to go. So, like, maybe, like, he gets executed and, like, but he wants to die. Like, this is part of his plan. So he dies, but, like, this is what turns the tables against the mastermind. And he does go through his character arc, but, you know, he's turned the tables. And then, like, my hero is, like, you know, she also sacrificed herself. So, like, she's able to reconcile with Hyuko. And then these are the survivors. Okay. I'm actually pretty happy with this. I don't know if I feel really happy about, like, both of the perverts dying here, but fuck it. I don't know. I don't know what else to do. Okay, this is my tier list. Okay. This is probably not what's gonna happen. But if it's not what happens, it's gonna be really fun to me when we look back on things and we're like, oh, we were so off. Okay. So you know what? This is my list for now. I'm not sure if I'm like 100% happy about chapter 3, but you know what? Chapter 3 never satisfies anyone. So fuck it. Yeah, if anything, this kind of is how things go, isn't it? Okay. Either way, I'm sure this is not what's gonna happen. I kind of hope it's not, because I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this. But these are like my ideas for the victims and killers of Danganronpa 2x2. So I am so looking forward to this game. I'm so happy that I am back into Danganronpa. I'm so happy that the Danganronpa fandom has only grown and evolved since last time I was here. It's so exciting. And I am so looking forward to the next game. And I hope you are too. And I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I will see you next time. Adios, friends.